Hey guys, the first video, I don't know what happened. The first video was blocked. So the first video that I got was blocked. So we are kind of talking about Sowore before the video was a bit of, I don't know what happened that they decide to block that video. We're talking about why Sowore should be arrested. So maybe you may not be seeing it. Like I said, the video was like I heard. They said they make the video no go for more than 250 locations, so which is very bad. I know many people will be wondering what happened. That's exactly what happened. I decided to go and come back again. I don't know. Before we had a problem Facebook, they have to go a lot of procedure trying to unlock when they say that I have plays a first round news video. So that caused a lot of problem between me and Facebook. Anyway, now we have come back. We are talking about Sowore in a country where the law works. How do you think that Sowore should be handled, beaten, in front of the Nigerian so-called highest security in the land, which is the DSS, police, military? In front of them, it happens. It does not happen anywhere. In front of them, Nigeria told you they have a history. The highest police, the highest military, the highest everything, they have it here in Abuja. But people came and beat somebody in front of them. Then you told me the country is one. The country is one. If those people are not sent, you want to tell me is if that's the case, so IPOB members can actually come there and took Nnamdi Kanu. Then why did they spend billions to bring security in Abuja when the security is not working? Yeah, I asked, why did they spend billions to bring security in Abuja if the security is not working, if the security is being breached? I find it very, very, very hurtful that a nation that take pride on things, that take pride on their military, can allow things like that happen. There's no way the government is giving people cause to say this country is working. There's no way the government is giving people cause to say we want to amend things, we want to amend relationship, we want to find a common ground so that this thing can in any way work. It's just maybe hit, fight, policy without idea. I heard Nnamdi Kanu's lawyer today saying that their next case, that the government must bring in camera. That camera must be brought in the case, because what they came to adjourn, what they came to announce, what they came to tell people was not what is already in the book. Australia call it, making laws on the run. That's what the Australian government says. They make laws on the run, which is very bad for a nation. That the Attorney General will just come up overnight and say, yes, that's it. You go and put that. Yes, that's it. It's a very, very dangerous thing in the country. Even though you don't believe in one Nigeria or you believe in one Nigeria, in any country, even in your family. Could you imagine your father wake up and say, oh, you eat curry today, tomorrow you eat apple. Why do you eat this? Why do you eat it? You will actually be fed up with that your father. You will see that your father as a useless somebody. That's what is happening today in Nigeria. The Attorney General will come, court will say another thing, Attorney General will come and say another thing, then another person from the Vice President, Lai Mohammed, will come and say another thing. This is something that every Nigerian needs to question. Why is this gentleman beaten? Sowore is an activist. Sowore told you every day that he believes in one Nigeria, but he is not against self-determination. That is, the law permit that, but you have to tell somebody why he needs to stay. If he refuses, then you guys can go on plebiscite or go on referendum. The Nigerian government can actually tell you now. It's not like calling you somebody in London. No, they can tell you Nnamdi Kanu is just the nation entirely. Because of a common Nnamdi Kanu today, the whole country was shut down. The economy, Nigeria lost about 2 point something trillion for that, just that case on share market. You guys don't know because of Nnamdi Kanu. And you're telling common governors, you're saying the government, they have overpowered them. Even Nnamdi Kanu have overpowered Nigerian government. You see how the convoys, see what it took to come there. It wasn't an easy thing. It was so hard. I was looking at the whole thing and I said, if not for anything, Kanu must be proud of himself. If not for anything, he's very proud of man. Because it's one of the best cases in Nigerian history. I told people in one of my YouTube videos that if you're a lawyer, thank God that the people heard the voice. I saw the video did well on YouTube. If you're not be following my YouTube, if you're not be following Lobby YouTube, you please join Lobby YouTube, because sometimes it's a place that I sit down to analyze and this weekly live broadcast. I told people, if you're a lawyer, if you're interested in law, if you're a law student, you may not have similar case in your lifetime again. It's a case that you will go and see and reason. And if the country called Nigeria have interest of people, new generation, it's a case of open door. That lawyers will see men asking questions. We see men going back to the history of the country, trying to make sense. But because it's a country that never allowed the generation to flourish, the country that decide to hold the generation down, then they are chasing the lawyers. Lawyers were beaten, lawyers were chased out. It's a case that people could have, learned one special thing, begin to ask them questions. It's a case that people need to ask each other question. Is this country worth it? If this country worth it, why can't we give it all, or why wouldn't we give it all? That's what the case is all about. Buhari, as you see, came and flawed everything. He told people something that does not exist. Listen to what this man was saying. It's totally different from what they bring to the court. Listen to what he said. It's totally different from what they brought to court. You can listen and hear.
Thank you very much.
Nnamdi Kanu, the self-acclaimed leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, has been at the center of a subversive campaign against the Nigerian state. Consequently, Nnamdi Kanu was arrested on the 14th day of October 2015. He was charged to court for treasonable felony, among other crimes. He was granted bail by the Federal High Court Abuja on the 25th day of April 2017, which bail he eventually jumped and fled abroad. While in self-exile, Nnamdi Kanu intensified his subversive campaign using online radio Biafra to instigate violence and incite members of the IPOB to commit violent attacks against civil and democratic institutions, particularly the security personnel, Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, and civilians. He instigated the destruction of public and private properties across the country. As a result of these criminal activities, IPOB was proscribed and designated a terrorist organization by a federal high court sitting in Abuja, fashioned an order made on the 20th September 2017. Despite the proscription of IPOB by the federal government, Nnamdi Kanu continued the subversive campaign, instigating and inciting broadcasts to direct members of IPOB to launch attacks on government and public institutions, among others, which resulted in loss of lives and properties.
So guys, you see, the Attorney General of Nigeria is now the journalist, is now the Chief Magistrate Court, because they got no case to answer here. We don't need this explanation. The explanation have been done to the court, and the lawyers came outside and say what they are defending on. So I don't know what it came out to go. And people said Buhari was saying Nnamdi Kanu called him idiot. Nnamdi Kanu said he's a pedophile. Nnamdi Kanu said he's this and that. There's no case. There's no case. They refuse to allow camera to get in there. That's the work of journalists the Attorney General came in to do. And it doesn't make sense. His work is to draft the letter and brief the pressmen when they caught Nnamdi Kanu and those things before the day of the judgment. What he's doing here is Nigerian journalists. That's their work. They only have to ask him, what do you feel today after the judgment? How do you feel? That's all Attorney General have to do. But now he's doing the work of journalists, doing the work of information minister. These people have lost it. They have lost it. I'm telling you. I was disappointed. A country, Nigeria, that boasts high GP in the academy, educated men, come to Australia here and see how these men are positioned. Nigerians are positioned. Go to America, UK, Canada. Then we end up with people like this that doesn't know their left and right. This is the work of journalists. It shouldn't be there. You have already submitted whatever you want to submit to the magistrate court, to the high court, federal high court. Federal high court have to make their judgment. What Nnamdi Kanu, the whole thing you guys have taken more than 4 months or 5 months to put this together. You cannot put it together. You are coming today after the judgment, say Nnamdi Kanu that, Nnamdi Kanu that. So the magistrate himself does not, Nakayako, does not hear what you guys are saying. If it's a place law work, you must be arrested. If this is a place law works, he could have been arrested, because what happened, he's just fooling people. It's not doing the right thing. It's fooling people. Because what he said, people, is different from what we are hearing here. Let's listen to Mazi for one of the lawyer.
Show solidarity and support for the rule of law, but they are being prevented from going into the court premises. I think that is wrong. It's some sort of
like you see, people said, like, if you are following one of the OB video, all the OB video I made before the law, pure for the few days for Nnamdi Kanu's law. I said it is good for every lawyer that admire a good case, even internationally, locally, to get in there to listen, not to defend Nnamdi Kanu, just to listen to the case, know how the case is best. Then you can prepare yourself for future. You can be hired tomorrow to defend the entire nation and international courts of law. You'll be able to make a reference. You'll be able to make reference to the past law that you have listened to and how the judgment went to, how the magistrate. That's what builds lawyer. Lawyer is not only what you study. You build definitely from experience. That's why some junior lawyer, they take them to court to go and listen to case. But if they cannot listen to high-profile cases like this, how do you want them to be a good lawyer tomorrow? How do you want them to make a very critical, vital decision for the nation when drafting the constitution or amending the constitution? How do you think that will happen when you never give them a chance to be in a place they made a very critical law? This nation must be thinking. Listen to what this senior advocate said. Listen to him.
Prevented from going into the court.
I'll take you back a bit. Sorry, guy.
They have come to show solidarity and support for rule of law.
For rule of law.
Are being prevented from going into the court premises. I think that is wrong. It's some sort of interference with the right of the accused to counsel. He needs the solidarity. His case is a very sensitive, high-profile case, and people should not be seen to be interfering with the multitude of lawyers that have come here to show solidarity with him and his frontline attorneys.
You see, now you see what I'm saying. These are just how the country have flawed. It's a very high-profile case. If you don't want to have profile case, then you shouldn't arrest Nnamdi Kanu. That's simple. Nigerian government fell so much. You know how much they spend carrying these polivans, military. It's a big money. Those people they spend. Maybe just because Nigeria pays salary. If it is in this country, you pay per hour. You know how much it is. We are talking about millions of dollars. That's what they spent that day. They shut Abuja down. Nigerian stock was down. Do you know after that, I tell you guys one thing. After that case, Nigerian's equivalent to dollar has about 3.5 increase, which is a big thing for a nation. After Nnamdi Kanu's case, the dollar rates increase with almost 3.5, which means if you're paying a dollar 600 naira, you have to pay a dollar 630 or 650 because of what? They closed down their distance because of Nnamdi Kanu. No threat going on. That's what I see. Begin to ask, really, they are people of Biafra, you know. See the elderly man, one of the elderly man that will refuse entering there. You ask yourself, is this country serious? This is what they are doing, not only to Nnamdi Kanu himself, to the lawyers that came to pay solidarity to him. You ask yourself, how can a country turn so dumb like this? What way forward? Nigerian government have blamed Nnamdi Kanu in everything, both in SARS, economy, and everything. Nnamdi Kanu have never held office before. He have never held Nigerian office before. How can somebody who have never held office before be blamed for everything? Somebody who live in UK be blamed for everything. And now you ask yourself, is Nigerian government still competent to lead the country? The government have failed, and the way the government fail is when they start refusing to fight the right fight. And they begin to play game with human life. This problem could have been solved if there is a set down. This problem could have solved if the government call these people and say, okay, let people's choice win. Because in every country you say people's choice rule, no matter how it may be today or tomorrow. That seat, the governor or the president of the country will not sit in that seat forever. The president of Nigeria will not sit in that seat forever. So that's one thing we know. It will come one day and gone. People will have their power. So that's what we are talking about today, that the government of the country and the people of the country have to come to a round table to decide what they want for the country. They have to decide.
What we tell Ohanese?
Listen what happened.
We're asking, can there be fair trial under this toxic atmosphere? I say no. With all due respect, there will be no.
So guys, I'll leave you to the judgment today. Sorry today. The first video was more of streamed by Facebook and blocked because of the music. But I hope that I come to ratify it. Unfortunately, the time is run out and I have made so many mistakes today. But hopefully next week, you watch out, a lot of videos coming out and about Nnamdi Kanu soon and about IPOB. Like, you know, Obi is always here to give voice to the voiceless, and we continue to assist as much as possible to make sure that our people are being heard, to make sure that people enjoy their liberty. You know, we get nothing in this world than to be, you know, antibody or to show hospitality to one another. Nigeria today blaming Nnamdi candidates and Nnamdi candidates. That's totally wrong. Nnamdi Kanu told you that it's not against anybody. If you take Nnamdi Kanu is a racist, Nnamdi Kanu is this, he lives in UK, the country of multicultural. Nnamdi Kanu never tell you that. He said if people vote that they want one Nigeria who he is, that he will allow that to happen. He actually came down and told the government what happened to Ukocha Seaport, what happened to Port Harcourt. Recently, Easterners begin to exploit their place. And when Easterners begin to exploit their place, I'm telling you, Igbos are going high. I was so happy for them to tell that there are a lot of seaport areas that need to be drilled in. when Igbos begin to go back to look into their backyard, I'm telling you, that's the beginning of wisdom. That's the beginning of good thing in Igbo land. The Easterner, you know, do you know, people say oil. There's oil in Omahia. There's oil in Sowore. There's oil in Anambra. So we actually, Igbos don't know the oil. Igbos have not been in the, the sector you are controlling that you say oil. Igbos have not been there for years. But Igbos have actually taken over a lot of places in Nigeria. Even in this country I am in, Igbos are waxing strong. So don't say because Nigeria or this and that. But the thing is that people deserve their liberty. People deserve their freedom. Everybody deserves to live in a country that everybody have choice. Either Igbo, Yoruba, Hausa, you can have choice. Because even though they have Biafra today, there will be northerners in Biafra land. That's simple. That's true. And when there is northerners in Biafra land, Nnamdi Kanu will never say they should drive them. Once they are doing the right thing, one, just like we are in Europe, they have their paper, they are doing a good job. They allow the security to function and they will enjoy it. I was speaking to a guy who says in that area, he's told me that he was actually against what his people are doing, that they should allow the Igbos to take over, or they do whatever, or they should make everything better. People will enjoy life. Why are we creating problems for our own self? That's the country. People say Nigeria, but the country is like flobbing. It's a fraud country. The country needs to be structured. When you look at Nigeria today, you still know that you are still under colonial master, which is very wrong. I don't want you to be under colonial master. I want our people to be free. I want our people to be free to stand. Look at Nigerian women came out and said that they gave them cell phone. A minister collected the whole cell phone. Nigeria, they gave to Nigerian women. A minister collected this. What is cell phone? Where you did not labor, you want to eat from there. The ladies win something, they came to, stand and do things, So why would this be happening? We shouldn't come in a way that people begin to play this blame game. These people. Let's call a spell a spell. Nnamdi Kanu did not call for Biafra. I don't know how people listen to him. Nnamdi Kanu never called for Biafra. Nnamdi Kanu only called for referendum. From day one, he called for referendum. He said, I asked my people should be given referendum. So if they decide to stay in this country that way, then who am I? He even challenged Wike. When they told him Wike doesn't want you, he said, okay, if Wike doesn't want me, no problem. But Wike only have one vote, just like I have one vote. Why can't people decide? Why can't they allow people to go and vote on that one vote? He said it. When they told him that, a Kate, he said, okay, Kate, even if I go to Kate area, I'll be more popular than Kate. I'm telling you today, if you bring Nnamdi Kanu here and bring Buhari, I'm telling you, people are going for Nnamdi Kanu than Buhari. Oh God am I. I'll bet if Buhari will bet that. I challenge Buhari. If you leave Nnamdi Kanu here, look at Buhari went to Sowore. It looked like ghost town. Nnamdi Kanu went to Abuja. Abuja is not an Igbo land. It's not even the president. They shot the whole barricade around Nnamdi Kanu. Nigeria came with all their machineries in this world. Just for one man. Then he said, go to Abuja. So any day, anytime, Nnamdi Kanu will win Buhari. To be honest with you, there's no president. So that makes me to think that if anybody wants to, blame the governors in the eastern side that Nnamdi Kanu is overpowering them, look at Nigeria entirely. The government, the president of Nigeria have to go to extreme mind in order to to protect Nnamdi Kanu, in order to do things, that, because of fears catching the government. They do all these things because of fears. Well, don't worry. Soon, but soon, all the whole thing will cut off with them because people will get tired. The youth will get tired of all these things. The youth will get tired of lie. They blame Nnamdi Kanu for the. I ask you here, if you're here watching me or watch me later, do you think Nnamdi Kanu is to blame on answers? Answers is the right of the people. People protesting for their rights. You blame Nnamdi Kanu. Is Nnamdi Kanu the economy of the country? If Nnamdi Kanu is to blame in all these things, then why can't all the whole Nigerians go and lay down and beg Nnamdi Kanu so that the country will be going well? Why can't you allow Nnamdi Kanu to go? somebody who have not been a counselor of a country, the nation before. He have not even sit in the throne of his father. He's a prince. He have not even sit in that throne for one day. You are blaming him. What if he sit in that throne where he makes law? Know that Omai had got oil. A lot of Omai has got oil. So people are just talking crap and all these things. I just keep looking at them and say, if Nigeria should blame Nnamdi Kanu on these things, then Nigeria is totally finished. We are in trouble. Anyway, I'll leave this video to you. If you're watching me on Tuesday, please move out and make sure that you check some of my program on YouTube. Please join our YouTube, and so that as Facebook sharing the first one, you can actually get that one on YouTube and make it more better for your own self. Share it. We'll be looking into this program again next week. I hope you have a wonderful time. Thank you, each and everyone that are calling. Thank you for calling in tonight's program. I so much appreciate, and I ask you please share this program. And I couldn't play music again because it seems like the music I played before caused them to block my Facebook. So I won't play music again on that program again. So thank you guys. I hope you stay safe, and I think Mayu is playing now. And please share this program. Please, if you have not subscribed for the OB YouTube, please get down to your OB YouTube, like this page, share, and join me again every Saturday, 9 p.m. Australian time. Highest, our program we're calling on 9:15 p.m. But we came online 9 p.m. before the program we kick in and to other countries and everywhere. It should take almost 15 minutes to put on. So guys, stay safe. Love Obi, the future you. See, and thank you everyone for listening to Love Obi program.